What's going on, Flightfam? This is your captain speaking, and welcome back to Flight4080. Now, in the last video, well, I'll let this little montage speak for itself. Yes, the ambitious traveler. Welcome back to part 2 of this series. I know it's been a long time coming, and I really do apologize about that for the delay. And of course, Happy New Year. I hope that everyone has a very demure and very luxurious 2025. Even though this video is from 2023. I know, but life happens. But of course, we have to move forward. However, this early morning, we were not going forward, we were actually going a little bit backwards. The first time that I arrived at Heathrow, a few years before this flight, was on American Airlines. And on American Airlines, we deboarded the aircraft at a jet bridge. This morning, after a nice, slightly demure flight on British Airways, I have to go outside in the cold and desolate weather of Great Britain. First world problems aside, I'm just getting used to this, honestly, and I'm going to be very honest with you. This won't be the last time that this happens. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. That was very nice of him to say. You know what? This hat has become a signature to the channel, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Unfortunately, I think I brought New York with me because the bus was absolutely packed. Once we started off, it took us maybe around 5 to 10 minutes to head over to the main concourse of T5. And with only 3 hours of connection time, which technically would only dwindle down to just 2 hours, my only concern was... British. I guess you didn't learn from Qatar Airways about placing everybody at a bus gate. It just seems like it's a one world problem. Nah, man, it's not a one world problem. It's a you problem and a first world problem. Let's just be honest here. Welcome to London Heathrow Terminal 5. Security was kind of a headache. Now it's time for me to go to the lounge and take a shower. I need a shower. I feel a little bit refreshed. Heathrow was absolutely packed in the morning, so I rushed over to the South Lounge corridor, which consists of 3 lounges. The Club Lounge, the First Lounge, and, of course, the coveted Concord Room. Is that for the galleries? Upstairs? Oh. Okay, and where do we get the buzzer for the showers? Upstairs? Okay, thank you. Galleries Club is upstairs. So there's like 3 levels, and I'm at the south end of the terminal. And let me see, south. Oh, the current occupancy is very low. That's perfect. I just saw a little screen down there. That's pretty cool. Oh, they got the A380 over here. Oh, I gotta show you guys this. Hold on. See? Look at the A380 right there. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. Wow. If only they had the Concorde here, that would be pretty cool, but I guess that's reserved for the Concorde room. Then this racing horse, this is nice. Alright, let's go. And of course, he sees a model airplane and he becomes a little boy. Hello. Sure. And is there any availability for the shower room at the moment?
Yeah, you can go downstairs and check, or if you scan your the QR code on the table, and the password is Vindaloo.
Wait, Vindal what? You know, a quick Google search should clear our minds. Oh. According to Wikipedia, Vindaloo or Vindalho is a Goan curry dish based on the Portuguese dish carne de vinha dalhos. It is known globally in its British Indian form as a staple of curry house and Indian restaurant menus, and is often regarded as a fiery, spicy dish.
Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
The traditional recipe uses pork, but alternative versions have been prepared with beef, mutton, prawns, chicken, lamb, vegetables, and tofu. The more you know.
Scan the QR code on the table, put in the code Vindaloo, and then you can book a shower and shower.
Or you can go downstairs and book direct with him.
Okay.
Because they told him to come upstairs, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just head back downstairs, it's right next to the Concord room.
Oh, right next to the Concord room already.
Yeah.
Thank you. If any one of you have ever watched Thomas the Tank Engine, there's a character known as Sir Topham Hatt. Let me just say this, British Airways, there was too much confusion and delay. For me to take a shower, I had to go upstairs to reception to the lounge that I had to go to as a business class passenger, then go back downstairs to find out that I had to wait for a little bit to get online for a shower. And I waited for about... The showers at Heathrow kind of remind me of what a shower would look like on an Amtrak train. It's not the best thing in the world, but again, as long as you get a shower, in my book, it's better than not taking a shower after one long haul flight and getting on another long haul flight. Alright, I have no time to waste right now. I really need to take a shower because my flight boards in about a half an hour and it's gonna take me a little bit of time to get over to the B gates. So I'll be right back. Alright, showered. Oh, almost forgot my phone. Nice t-shirt. Still gonna have the leather jacket when I get off. I know I'm gonna be singeing hot. But let's start heading over to Lagos on BA75. Thank you so much. Oh, before we go, let me show you a few planes. So we have the 787-9. We have the Lockheed TriStar L1011. And of course, you cannot have a little museum without the 747. That is the that's not 200, that's the 100 actually, the BOAC livery. And we have the DC-3, that's pretty cool. Yet again, still no Concorde. I don't know if it's gonna shimmer while I'm in the shot. Will it shimmer? Oh, it's shimmering a little bit. It's supposed to resemble a cloud. But let's head over to the B gates. Hopefully I get there on time so I can set up, because this thing is dying, and I don't like that. To get access over to the B gates, there's an intra-terminal train that takes you from the main concourse of Concourse A to B and C gates.
Take all belongings with you. Next stop, gate C.
Hey, Terminal 5, do you know anything about air conditioning? Because it is hot in here. It is burning hot in here. Even if you have like a t-shirt, it is hot. So I am not understanding why is it so damn hot here. It is way too hot for this. Habibi, that's because you're heading to Lagos and they already knew. Now the B and C gates, there's not really much to do, just a few duty-free shops. That's pretty much it. So if you want more variety, I would say stay in the A gates until maybe about 20 to 30 minutes before your flight boards. And just like that, already boarding. Boarding went swiftly, and upon getting to the aircraft, everything seemed to be going well. Same setup as the 777, just a little bit of differences, except this is where the British Airways streak of demureness starts to deteriorate. For starters, as you can see, I'm getting ready to get in my original seat of 8 kilo. Unfortunately, things didn't really go so well with that specific seat because there was a hole going into the seat. So as I sat in the seat, I was sinking into the seat and it just didn't feel comfortable. So I alerted one of the FAs about this and they didn't see anything wrong with it, but they didn't sit in the seat itself to see what I was referring to. So they just simply switched me from 8 kilo to 9 kilo. I gotta sit up, so give me a second. And after settling in, I received a nice little glass of orange juice as my welcome drink. But just like the Boeing 777, the Club World Suite has the following. To your right, you will have 2 storage bins, one bigger and one smaller. To access the bigger storage bin, all you need to do is press the small little button right under. It pops up to reveal a decent amount of storage space with a sole USB-A port to the right and a USB-A port to the left, along with the universal power outlet. And right behind the clutter, I'm so sorry for that, is the PlayStation Portable style infotainment system remote. And to access that, all you need to do is press a little button to the right of it, and you'll be able to to access anything that you would like on the infotainment system. By the way, the infotainment system itself is already touchscreen. To the right of the bigger storage unit is the smaller storage unit, which can house smaller electronics such as phones and earbuds, and that's basically it. Above that was the vanity storage, or the infamous vanity storage with the scratches. I'll get to a comment that I actually got about that in a second. Within it was a little bottle of water from Harrogate Stillwater, and you can pretty much put a decent sized tablet in there if you have one. So if you saw part 1 of the series, you do know that I had an issue with the vanity storage, or specifically the door to the vanity storage. In that video I said,
But first, walk-in impressions aside, I did find out a few little things that I did not like about the suite. And one of them happens to be the visual aesthetic, as I just said. More likely, it's probably due to the maintenance techs at British Airways.
It's probably due to the maintenance techs at British Airways.
However, Devon896 gave me a correction on that, which, in quote, the scratches on the cupboard door are due to the flip-up storage units catching it when all of them are open. Usually it's done by the cabin crew or cleaners, so it has nothing to do with the engineers. Thank you for that one. So for all the maintenance techs and engineers at British Airways, I deeply apologize for my comments on that one. However, it's not something that is not so demure now, isn't it? And wow, it looks like we're pushing back, so let me give you the full gist as it is hot about this beautiful, sensational, and astounding aircraft, the Boeing 787-10. This morning's flight will be operating as British Airways BA75. This morning's registration will be flown on Golf-Zulu Bravo Lima Foxtrot, a 2-year-old Boeing 787-10 at the time of flight. And as we taxi ever so gently off of the apron, excuse me, I thought it was a ramp. You daft and ignorant American, how dare you? Well, I'm sorry, Your Highness, but over here in the United States, we happen to call it a ramp. Well, first of all, if you weren't so ignorant and daft, you would understand that this particular flight actually originates in the United Kingdom, England to be exact, and London to be precise. So, with that being said, we call it an apron. We're both pretty much saying the same thing. Like, you people say tomato and chips and lorry, correct? Why not at all? You people say tomato and fries and trucks. And I give 0. Oh, don't you dare even go there. Have some manners, why don't you? And as we taxi down Taxiway Bravo and see some of the morning departures from Heathrow, I'll turn on the fasten seatbelt sign and allow you to listen to such a harmonious symphony from these beautiful Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines thundering down runway 27 left. least the symphony of the engines can provide a little bit of brightness. It's very dreary and cloudy in London. However, where we're going, there's going to be a lot more sun today. Again, how rude. You do realize that you're over the United Kingdom. So, as my compatriot would normally say, after takeoff, we climbed over Stanwell Moor, then making a slight left turn over Raysbury. Then we began to make another left turn to head south over Windsor Great Park. We began our uncharted journey down to Nigeria, climbing over cities such as Woking and Cramley. And once roughly at altitude, we would finally hit our last city of the United Kingdom of Brighton before venturing off over the English Channel. Alright, I'll take it from here. After crossing the English Channel, we finally hit France, flying just west of Paris. And as we traveled south, I did see Toulouse, France, also known as Airbusville. Funny how I'm flying on a Boeing, passing near Airbusville. Bonjour Toulouse. After Airbusville, we finally hit Andorra and the Pyrenees Mountains, which means we're leaving France and heading onward to Spain, passing Valencia, Denia, and Alicante. And from there, a short little hop over the Mediterranean before hitting our first African country of Algeria. After a few hours, we finally would hit Mali, then onwards to Niger. Wait, I thought it was Niger. Shut up. Not long after entering Nigerian airspace, just south of Niamey, we made a slight left turn to enter Nigerian airspace over Kebbi State, continuing south over Niger State, Kwara State, and Oyo State, and beginning our initial descent just northwest of Ibadan, descending further into Ogun State. Right over Abeokuta, we made our final left turn to start lining up towards Lagos, descending further over Agege and Ikeja before touching down on runway 18 left instead of runway 18 right due to runway 18 right having some construction. This morning's flight time will take 5 hours 35 minutes, cruising at 37, 38, and 39,000 feet. Since we're at altitude, I'll turn off the fasten seatbelt sign and let's get into the flight. I'll start off with a little bit more information about this specific aircraft, the Boeing 787-10. British Airways operates all three variants of the Boeing 787 series, the 787-8, the 787-9, and the 787-10, which we're flying on. Just like the Boeing 777-300ER that I previously flown on in the first part of this series, first class is spread out in 2 rows and is set up in a 1-to-1 configuration, giving a grand total of 8 first class passengers. Business class, or Club World, is split up into 2 cabins, also in a 1-to-1 configuration. The total occupants in this cabin is 48. Followed by that is World Traveler Plus, containing 5 rows in a 2-3-2 configuration, bringing the total to 35 in this cabin. And finally, we have Economy, also known as World Traveler. There are 19 rows in this cabin, however the first 16 rows are in a 3-3-3 configuration. Rows 46, 47, and 48 are in a 2-3-2 configuration, due to the curvature at the rear of the fuselage of the aircraft, bringing the grand total in this cabin to 165. And what is the grand total of this 787 configuration? Well, it's 256 seats. Wait, hold on. Didn't we hear that number before? So the grand total of this Boeing 777-300ER configuration is 254 passengers. Given the size of this aircraft, that's actually pretty light. Yes, exactly. We heard it before in part 1 of the series, which is the same exact number of passengers that can fit across all cabins on the Boeing 777-300ER. So what makes the difference? Well, there are 33 more seats in the Boeing 787-10's economy class section, which sacrifices more premium seats. My seat on today's flight is 8 kilo. Oh, wait. Sorry, 9 kilo. Even though there was a seat change, it never changed the window view for me, which I just love seeing the engines and the wings at the same time. It's just a beautiful view. And on top of that, this footage was actually taken over France when our meal service began. Ah, cuisine! This is my specialty! Oh boy, here we go again. But before that, we did receive some hot towels, which was taken after our order. For starters, I ordered the Pinot Noir, and I paired that with the sweet potato soup, which came with garlic, and herb croutons. It was actually really good, especially with the bread. And no Chardonnay, because the reason why I decided to go with the Pinot Noir is for the main. Wait a second, they didn't even clear most of the area of the dining table. No, they were trying to rush due to the fact that we were leaving a little bit late and a lot of things weren't in order. I went with the braised Welsh leg of lamb, which came with potato au gratin, minted peas, green beans, and thyme au jus. Lamb with red wine is a really good pairing, and I did finish it. Once we were off the coast of Algeria, I think it was time for me to take a nap. I slept pretty well, for maybe about 3 hours. I said 2, but I actually slept for about 3 hours. And we were just entering Nigerian airspace. Given that it was around 4:30ish in the afternoon, I decided to go for another caffeine hit because I knew I wasn't going to get any sleep until later on that evening. Not long after we started our descent, and let me just tell you, it's always a beautiful sight to behold every time when I'm landing at my home away from home. Nigeria is pretty much home for me now, and every time when I see it outside of the window, especially during landing, it's a beautiful sight to behold. Even when I'm far from home, my heart always finds its way back. I'll just let the footage speak for itself. That was an absolutely stunning landing. You know, normally you do piss me off, but I'll let you slide with that one. It really was. Anyways, they play. We don't vex and cry. We don't trek and try. Welcome to Lagos Murtala Mohammed International Airport, where the local time is 5:36 p.m. And even though we departed London 51 minutes behind schedule, guess what? We made it up in the air and arrived 8 minutes ahead of schedule. Nice job, British Airways. You really did try. And even though there was something that I technically wanted to try with you guys about 5 years ago, but missed the chance to. And I'll explain that and more in the next video. However, how do you feel about my perspectives on my experience with British Airways? Also, what are your perspectives on experiences with British Airways? Please don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section below. And as always, I'd like to take the time to thank you for tuning in to another review on Flight4080. Thank you for watching another installment of the British Ballads, and I'll catch up with you guys soon in the next review. Cheers for now.